In the interconnected world of today, where technology permeates nearly every aspect of our lives, the threats to our security have become more complex and insidious. Among these threats, social engineering stands out as a particularly dangerous form of manipulation. Unlike traditional hacking, which targets systems and networks, social engineering targets the most vulnerable element in any security system, the human mind. Social engineering is the art of manipulating people into performing actions or divulging confidential information. It exploits our natural tendencies to trust, to be helpful, and to follow authority figures. The consequences of falling victim to social engineering can be devastating, ranging from financial loss and identity theft to corporate espionage and even national security breaches. This story delves into the world of social engineering, exploring its methods, its evolution, and its impact on individuals and organizations. Through real-world case studies and psychological insights, we will uncover the hidden dangers of social engineering and the lasting harm it can cause. Social engineering is not a new concept. It has been around for centuries, evolving with society and technology. At its core, social engineering is about manipulating human behavior by exploiting psychological principles. Understanding these principles is key to understanding how social engineering works. One of the primary principles behind social engineering is trust. Humans are social creatures, and trust is a fundamental aspect of our interactions. Social engineers often pose as trusted figures, such as IT support, colleagues, or even law enforcement, to gain access to sensitive information or systems. Authority is another powerful tool used by social engineers. People are conditioned to obey authority figures, especially when they appear legitimate. By posing as a figure of authority, such as a CEO or a government official, social engineers can coerce individuals into following their instructions without question. Urgency and scarcity are also commonly exploited in social engineering attacks. By creating a sense of urgency, claiming that immediate action is required to avoid a disaster, social engineers pressure their targets into making hasty decisions without fully considering the consequences. Social engineers use a variety of tactics to exploit these psychological principles, including phishing, pretexting, baiting, quid pro quo, and tailgating. Each of these methods relies on manipulating the target's perception and behavior, often with devastating results. Social engineering has evolved significantly over the years, adapting to changes in technology and society. In the past, con artists and confidence men relied on face-to-face interactions to deceive their victims. These early forms of social engineering laid the groundwork for the sophisticated attacks we see today. With the advent of the internet, social engineering entered a new era. Phishing, one of the most common forms of social engineering, involves sending deceptive emails that appear to come from legitimate sources. These emails often contain malicious links or attachments designed to steal personal information or install malware on the victim's device. Spear phishing, a more targeted version of phishing, has become increasingly prevalent. In these attacks, the social engineer gathers information about a specific individual or organization to craft a personalized message that is more likely to succeed. Spear phishing has been used in some of the most high-profile cyber attacks in recent history. Social media has also played a significant role in the evolution of social engineering. Platforms like Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn provide social engineers with a wealth of information about potential targets. By analyzing social media profiles, social engineers can identify vulnerabilities, such as a person's job title, interests, or personal connections, which can be exploited in an attack. One of the most significant social engineering attacks in recent history was the 2011 RSA security breach. RSA, a leading provider of security solutions, was targeted in a sophisticated social engineering attack that compromised its secure ID two-factor authentication products. The attack began with a phishing email sent to RSA employees. The email, which appeared to be from a legitimate source, contained an Excel spreadsheet with a zero-day exploit. When an employee opened the spreadsheet, the exploit installed a backdoor on RSA's network, allowing the attackers to gain access to sensitive data. The breach had far-reaching consequences, as RSA's secure ID tokens were used by numerous organizations, including government agencies and defense contractors. The attackers were able to use the information obtained from RSA to launch further attacks on these organizations, compromising sensitive data and systems. The RSA breach highlighted the dangers of social engineering and the importance of securing the human element in any security strategy. It also demonstrated the long-term impact that a successful social engineering attack can have on a company and its clients. While large-scale breaches like the RSA hack make headlines, social engineering also takes a toll on individuals. Identity theft is one of the most common and devastating outcomes of social engineering attacks. Victims often lose their life savings, and the emotional and psychological impact can be severe. Consider the story of Emily, a single mother who fell victim to a phishing scam. Emily received an email that appeared to be from her bank, informing her that her account had been compromised and she needed to verify her information. Concerned, she clicked on the link in the email and entered her account details. Within hours, Emily's bank account was drained. The attackers had used her information to transfer funds out of her account, leaving her with nothing. The loss was devastating, but the emotional impact was even worse. Emily felt violated and ashamed that she had been tricked. It took years for her to rebuild her finances, and the experience left her with a lingering sense of mistrust. The challenge of recovery for victims of social engineering is significant. Financial institutions may be able to recover lost funds, but the emotional scars often remain. Victims may feel embarrassed, violated, and anxious, leading to long-term psychological effects. Social engineering is not only used to target individuals, it is also a powerful tool in corporate espionage. Companies spend millions of dollars on cybersecurity, but even the most advanced systems can be bypassed if the human element is compromised. One of the most notable examples of corporate espionage through social engineering is the 2013 Target data breach. In this case, attackers used social engineering to infiltrate a third-party vendor that provided HVAC services to Target. By tricking an employee at the vendor into clicking on a phishing email, the attackers were able to gain access to Target's network. Once inside Target's network, the attackers installed malware that captured payment card data from millions of customers. The breach cost Target over $200 million in settlements, legal fees, and other expenses. The company's reputation was also severely damaged, and it took years for Target to regain the trust of its customers. This case highlights the importance of securing the entire supply chain, not just the primary organization. Social engineers often target smaller vendors or contractors who may have weaker security measures in place, using them as a stepping stone to gain access to larger targets. To combat corporate espionage through social engineering, companies must invest in training employees to recognize and respond to social engineering attempts. This includes not only their own employees, but also those of their vendors and partners. Additionally, implementing strong access controls and monitoring systems can help detect and prevent unauthorized access. Social engineering has also made its way into the political arena, where it has been used to influence public opinion and manipulate election outcomes. The most high-profile example of this is the 2016 U.S. presidential election, where social engineering played a significant role in the disinformation campaigns that targeted voters. During the 2016 election, social engineers used social media platforms to spread false information, create fake news stories, and amplify divisive rhetoric. By exploiting the algorithms of platforms like Facebook and Twitter, these actors were able to target specific groups of voters with tailored messages designed to influence their behavior. The impact of these disinformation campaigns was profound. Many voters were misled by the false information they encountered, leading to a breakdown in trust in the media and the democratic process. The long-term effects of this manipulation are still being felt today, as political polarization continues to grow. The ethical implications of using social engineering in politics are significant. While some argue that these tactics are simply another form of political persuasion, others believe they undermine the integrity of the democratic process. The use of social engineering in politics raises important questions about the role of technology in society and the need for greater regulation and oversight. Ransomware attacks have become one of the most prevalent and damaging forms of cybercrime in recent years, and social engineering plays a key role in their success. In many cases, ransomware is delivered through phishing emails or other social engineering tactics that trick victims into downloading malicious software. One of the most notorious ransomware attacks was the WannaCry outbreak in 2017. WannaCry spread rapidly across the globe, encrypting the files of thousands of organizations and demanding ransom payments in Bitcoin. The attack was particularly devastating for hospitals and healthcare providers, many of which were forced to cancel surgeries and divert emergency patients due to the loss of access to critical systems. The success of WannaCry and other ransomware attacks hinges on the ability of social engineers to deceive their targets. In many cases, the ransomware is disguised as a legitimate email attachment or download, tricking the victim into executing the malicious software. The financial toll of ransomware attacks is significant, with some estimates putting the global cost at billions of dollars per year. In addition to the direct financial losses, organizations also suffer from the disruption of services, loss of data, and damage to their reputation. To protect against ransomware, individuals and organizations must be vigilant in recognizing social engineering attempts. This includes being cautious about opening email attachments or clicking on links from unknown sources, as well as implementing strong backup and recovery procedures. At the heart of every successful social engineering attack is a deep understanding of human psychology. Social engineers exploit cognitive biases, heuristics, and other psychological principles to manipulate their targets. One such principle is the foot-in-the-door technique, where the social engineer starts with a small request to gain the target's trust before escalating to a larger request. This tactic is effective because people are more likely to comply with a larger request if they have already agreed to a smaller one. Another common tactic is the halo effect, where the social engineer leverages the appearance of legitimacy to gain trust. For example, a phishing email that appears to come from a trusted source, such as a bank or government agency, is more likely to be successful because the target assumes that the source is credible. Fear and urgency are also powerful motivators in social engineering. By creating a sense of imminent danger or urgency, social engineers can pressure their targets into making hasty decisions without fully considering the consequences. This is often seen in phishing emails that warn of account compromises or legal threats. Understanding these psychological principles is key to defending against social engineering. By being aware of how social engineers manipulate behavior, individuals and organizations can better recognize and resist these tactics. While social engineering relies on manipulating human behavior, technology plays a critical role in amplifying its impact. Advances in artificial intelligence, machine learning, and deepfake technology have made social engineering attacks more sophisticated and harder to detect. Deepfakes, in particular, pose a significant threat. These AI-generated videos and audio recordings can be used to create convincing but entirely fake messages from trusted figures. Imagine receiving a voicemail from your boss instructing you to transfer funds to a specific account, only to later discover that the voice you heard was not your boss at all, but a deepfake created by a social engineer. Social media platforms also play a crucial role in social engineering. These platforms provide a treasure trove of information about potential targets, from their job titles and social connections to their interests and daily routines. Social engineers can use this information to craft highly personalized attacks, making them more likely to succeed. Moreover, the algorithms that power social media platforms can inadvertently aid social engineers by amplifying misleading content or spreading disinformation. When false information is widely shared and liked, it gains credibility, making it more likely that people will believe and act on it. While technology has made social engineering more powerful, it also offers tools to defend against it. For example, AI and machine learning can be used to detect and block phishing emails, while social media platforms can implement measures to reduce the spread of disinformation. Defending against social engineering requires a multifaceted approach that combines technology, education, and awareness. While technical solutions, such as spam filters and anti-phishing software, are essential, they are not enough on their own. The human element must also be addressed. For individuals, the first line of defense is awareness. Understanding the tactics used by social engineers and being able to recognize suspicious behavior is critical. This includes being cautious about sharing personal information online, verifying the identity of anyone requesting sensitive information, and being skeptical of unsolicited communications. Training is also vital, especially in the workplace. Employees should be educated about the dangers of social engineering and taught how to respond to potential attacks. Regular training sessions and simulated phishing exercises can help reinforce these lessons and keep security top of mind. Organizations must also implement strong access controls and monitoring systems to detect and prevent unauthorized access. This includes using multi-factor authentication, limiting access to sensitive information, and monitoring for unusual activity on networks and systems. Government and regulatory bodies also have a role to play in combating social engineering. This includes enforcing regulations that require companies to protect consumer data as well as promoting public awareness campaigns about the dangers of social engineering. As technology continues to evolve, so too will social engineering tactics. The rise of AI, machine learning, and other advanced technologies will likely make social engineering attacks more sophisticated and harder to detect. For example, we may see an increase in the use of AI-generated content, such as deepfake videos and audio recordings, to deceive targets. Social engineers may also use machine learning algorithms to analyze large data sets and identify potential vulnerabilities in their targets. The increasing use of the Internet of Things, IoT, also presents new opportunities for social engineers. As more devices become connected, the potential attack surface grows, giving social engineers more ways to infiltrate systems and gather information. To stay ahead of these evolving threats, individuals and organizations must remain vigilant and adaptable. This includes staying informed about new social engineering tactics, investing in advanced security technologies, and fostering a culture of security awareness. Ultimately, the battle against social engineering is ongoing, and there is no single solution. However, by combining technology with education and awareness, we can mitigate the risks and protect ourselves from the hidden manipulator that is social engineering. Social engineering is a powerful and insidious form of manipulation that exploits the very traits that make us human. By targeting our trust, our need to help others, and our tendency to follow authority, social engineers can cause significant harm to individuals, organizations, and even entire societies. The stories and case studies presented in this narrative highlight the devastating impact of social engineering, from financial loss and identity theft to corporate espionage and political manipulation. They also underscore the importance of remaining vigilant and informed in the face of these evolving threats. As technology continues to advance, the tactics used by social engineers will become more sophisticated. However, by understanding the psychology behind social engineering and taking proactive steps to protect ourselves, we can reduce the risks and defend against this hidden threat. The battle against social engineering is not just about protecting our data and systems. It is about safeguarding our trust, our relationships, and our way of life. In this ongoing fight, awareness and education are our most powerful weapons.